Hello everybody and welcome to the Forged HQ Quick Start Guide. I'm going to give you a run through on Google Sheets how to use it and get the most out of it so you're not getting any kind of confusion when you are using this spreadsheet. The first thing you need to know how to do is to edit a cell in this spreadsheet. All you need to do is either double click on PC or just tap it if you're on phone. Once you've done that, you can either enter text or number and that's it. Super easy. The second type of cell is a drop down menu, so any that you're going to see with an arrow like this, just press that and it'll give you a selection of options to choose from. Those are the only two cells we're going to use. The next two type of interactions you'll be having is either a hyperlink or a data entry. A hyperlink is usually in red text and underlined like this one here, which will take you to the members only area on our website, or down below in the personal best chart. When a cell is highlighted yellow, it usually means it's there for you to edit and for you to enter data. So as we can see here, you can use this chart to put in your best sets of either 2, 3, 5 reps, and then that will show you over here what that is an estimated 1 rep max. Using the drop down menu, we can select which display we want to be shown. The only interaction you'll have with the dashboard section is changing your weight class, so it changes the display of your most recent weigh-in respective to the weight class. Everything else changes automatically based on your inputs on the program page, which we'll get to in a moment. So here's the diary section where we can input things like body weight, if you trained that day, what exactly you trained, how many calories macros had, how you felt on a scale of 1 to 10, how tired or fatigued you were. So it's a great way to look back over time, the exact time and date when things happened, and get an idea of trends and things that happen during certain times of a block. So to edit these cells again, just click on them, change anything that you like, and then if it's a training day or not, just tick the box. Very simple. So here we have the warm-up section where there's a multitude of options of mobility work, movement prep, even some more advanced stretching methods that you can all do before a lifting session to get your body prepared and in the right state to be lifting the weights. I encourage you to have a look through these, try different ones, see which ones work for you, experiment. Not all of them will give the same stimulus, but it's definitely worth it to look through each one and find which ones make you feel the best and the most ready for a session. So now we've arrived at the program page, and this is where most of your interaction is going to take place. That's when you're training, looking at next week's training, when I look over it to see how you've interacted with what I've given you, what I've prescribed you to do. So let's jump into how you're going to use it. As we can see in the yellow cells here, that is for you to enter some details. So what date you are starting this plan. It could be a Monday, it could be whichever day of the week we've decided to start upon, so you'll enter that. And then competition or deadline is the date in the future that we're working towards. If you don't have any competitions or test days lined up, it could be the planned end of the block. As we saw in the dashboard display earlier on the start page, there were 3 lifts that were shown. You can change these at any time using this section here at the top of the program page. You can select either bench press, squat, deadlift or any other exercise and see how it progresses over time in the graphs that I'll show you in just a moment. Okay, we're going to be getting into the heart of the Forged HQ now. So this is the week-to-week display of the sessions that you're going to be doing. So this is what you'll be interacting with the most, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown on what each section means. Week 2, so that is the week we're on currently, that's how many weeks deep we are into the program. The date underneath that is the start date, so that'll be the Monday of the week that you're going to be training on, so it's easy to keep track of what week you're on. The weekly objective is where I or you will input the goal that we're going to do for this week and what we're going to focus on, what's the main kind of driving point for this week of training. Under that, the time until the meet or deadline is going to be shown in weeks and days, so it's really easy to digest. There's no confusion or searching through your calendar when things are going to happen. Underneath that, the average training time is calculated after you put in the start times for each session, each day. So after a few days, it'll start to create some kind of trend and we'll see the average time of when you're training. Moving on from that, you'll see these 2 numbers here. One is PS and one is AS. And what that means is prescribed stress and actual stress. We'll touch on that a little bit later when we get to the statistics page. But these numbers are going to be an indicator of how much work your body is being put through. The prescribed stress is the number that I give you, and the actual stress is calculated by your feedback in the RPE section. This is the session planner for each day of the week that you're going to be training. So we'll start with the Monday, and I will input all the details for you to follow in the darker grey section on the left. So exercises, sets, reps, intensities, any kind of notes I want you to see, that is where I'm going to input them. The lighter shade of grey to the right is your feedback to me, so we can see exactly who's putting what where. You're going to input the load you used for the exercise, the RPE out of 10. That is going to show the estimated 1 rep max, so there's no need to interact with that at all. Then any kind of feedback or notes you want to put in for me to see will be put in this section here. Once you've completed the section, just tick this box so it's done, and we can move on to the next day. So as the program sheet starts to develop and the more you input loads and RPEs and feedback, the more these graphs at the end of each month of training are going to be fleshed out. So as you can see, it's displayed an estimated 1 rep max over time. So it's a real-time feedback of how each lift that you've selected at the top of this page is progressing. And just a reminder, you can change these at any time. This is the check-in page that we use to monitor body composition and track any kind of changes, whether it be losing weight, gaining weight, having a body recomp, any kind of off-season. This is where we're going to keep a track of that. We've got multiple methods of doing that. We've got measurements, we've got weight, we've got progress pictures, and this is going to be the hub for you to keep on top of those things and keep a track of it and keep yourself more than anything accountable in this process. If you decide to use pictures to track your progress, you can do so in the section below. Just click the tab which you'd like to insert the picture, click insert at the top, select image and then image in a cell, and just select whichever image you want to use from your files on either your phone or your computer. Finally, we have the all-time stats page, which is going to give a 20-week display for the 3 lifts we'd selected in the program page, as well as predicted stress and actual stress, which I mentioned earlier. The 3 lifts which you have selected will be shown just underneath the stress levels, and these are shown in estimated 1 rep maxes again. So you can see the exact increase. Even if you're doing higher rep sets, you can see how much you're improving on a week-to-week or a session-to-session basis. There's 20 weeks of programs, so over time, if you're doing a consistent exercise, you'll see your exact progression over a longer period of time. Training stress is a number that is based off of the RPEs that both I give you and the feedback that you give me. It's a number that we can't rely on fully, but it is a really good and helpful indicator when it comes to things like fatigue and figuring out how much volume you can handle in any given training week. So this has been your quick start guide to using the Forged HQ. If you have any questions or you want to know anything further, don't hesitate to contact me at all, and I'll speak to you very soon. Thank you.